Hey everybody, McKyler here real quick to remind you to go check out our Patreon. We've got 7 bonus episodes up there right now and an 8th one coming up soon. If that's something that sounds fun to you, go sign up at patreon.com/doinglearning. Hope to see you over there. Welcome to Doing Learning, everybody. It's McKyler. I'm here by myself today. Just kidding. Daniel's over there. It's me, Daniel.
That's what I was waiting for. I was like,
I picked up on it. It took me 4 seconds. I figured it out.
I was like,
I am a sleuth today.
Please just pretend to be me and just people are gonna be like, wait, he's talking to himself tonight.
That's what you sound like in my brain, apparently.
Perfect.
No, even though I'm sleuthy tonight, that is so far from the topic. I've been pretty sleuthy lately, and I'm deviating from that this week.
For those of us who don't know, mainly me, what is the definition of sleuthy?
like detective mysteries
based
stuff, right?
Oh.
That's what I'm getting at. Like
right.
Bermuda
Gotcha.
Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
I did DB Cooper. All right.
Which it kind of inspired me to do the like legends too, because I was like that's
the
pretty
7
cool.
Wonders.
No,
the Paul Bunyan.
Yes.
Okay.
Like mythical stuff. So
yeah. Okay.
So I got the vibe.
Right.
Like I was on the ride with you.
I love this because I've gotten some feedback that like we're kind of wonderfully random, but truly you inspire me. It's just never in the way that anybody expects.
Yeah.
This one, Daniel, I will say this might be the most related to the previous episode that we'll do or we have done so far.
Okay.
That's okay. Because as you know, this is not our normal recording day and we're kind of getting a little crazy on a little bit of a short schedule.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're heading out west and getting in touch with your countryside, going to Country Jam this weekend.
Well, for most people, it'd be like in the past.
Yeah, a month ago today, this weekend, a month ago, Daniel's going to be jamming to some country tunes.
And for those patrons out there, I'll tell you all about it.
Are you going to give me a debrief on
I'll
country?
give you a debrief.
Okay. So whatever, we'll get to that when we get to that one. I can't wait. But I will say this, Daniel, you look like a guy that likes ponies. I mean, you're heading out west, gonna go hang out with some ponies.
Ponies are like actual horses.
Like horses.
Okay, I was like, it could go either way.
Like horses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cowboys.
Yeah. Yep.
And in this, Daniel, the Pony Express.
Like the train?
No. I'm glad that you had an incorrect reaction. This is another one of those like I knew about it but didn't know about it sorts of things. Okay. So you've certainly heard of the Pony Express before, right?
Yes.
You had no idea. You're thinking of the Polar Express.
Oh.
which I'm not gonna lie to you, since I started researching this topic, has been the song stuck in my head.
The Polar Express
is like their like little theme song on the something on the Polar Express.
I have no idea what
dude.
Song.
Oh, come on. No. Oh, okay.
Are we talking about like the one with what's his name?
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and they sing like a whole thing in there. Go culture yourself up.
I seriously saw it one time and I don't recall it very well.
All right, fair enough. I'll move you past that because that's not at all what we're talking about here.
Okay.
That one has the train. This one has the ponies. Train, ponies. Okay. So we're talking the pony one.
Okay.
Dang it, Daniel. Pony Express. Let's go back in time a little bit. The reason you inspired me this was the whole westward expansion, manifest destiny thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the Pony Express is kind of one of the things that really tied the bow and tied everything together during the westward expansion.
Okay.
So that's where I landed here. So that's probably the most related. Well, it's the most related to a previous topic that we've done. But I learned a ton about this thing. So let's do US, a little bit of US history background. Boo, boo, boo. That's our themed section of the day. The 1803 is the year of the Louisiana Purchase.
What is the Louisiana Purchase?
The Louisiana Purchase is where Thomas Jefferson bought from France a whole bunch of land.
I wasn't actually asking. I was just kind of, the, what's the game show?
Jeopardy?
Jeopardy. What?
You Jeopardy me? I thought you were setting me up a rhetorical question to establish a little bit of a baseline.
No,
it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
But it worked out great.
It worked out great. So anyway, that's a big deal. That kind of sets the stage for the whole idea of westward expansion, manifest destiny, all this stuff, right? Because basically overnight, boom, the United States doubles in land area effectively. So that's 1803. There's a couple of other things that go on for the first like 50 years of the 1800s that deal a lot with getting land, right? So Lewis and Clark, they go do their things, whatever, tons of adventure. They're out exploring. They're like the only ones. And then in 1848, I'm going to skip all the way to 1848, right? So this is the frontier land. Very, very few people are going west up until this point. There are people going west. There's just not many, right? These are like people getting way out there on the fringes, way frontiers people. They're going to be looking for gold is kind of the big thing. They're looking for places to settle for whatever various reasons, but it's very, very few people. In 1848, there was the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which was basically, it's not what I did the research on, so don't grill me. The result of it, I'm going to skip right to the result. The result of it was that I think we purchased it from Mexico. Whatever. We got from Mexico, basically California, parts of Oregon, Nevada, Utah, like the whole American Southwest, except for that little sliver we talked about in Paul Bunyan, the Gadsden Purchase, which is just the very southern bits of Arizona, New Mexico. So we got a ton of land from Mexico. And at that point, so California is the big one. That's the big one.
Yep.
So we get that one. And we're coast to coast now, baby, right? This is like, we might have had a little bit. Now we got like the whole thing. We got it. That's 1848. That's the same year that they find gold in California, which the very next year results in everybody moving west, right? The 49ers. From 1849, everybody starts moving west to go to California to find gold.
Wait,
to get rich.
Is that why they're called the 49ers?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
How did I not know this?
I don't know. Yeah. There you go. Daniel did some learning.
Thank you.
Yeah, the San Francisco for the 49ers, it's 1849. Yeah, everybody moving out west. Wagon trains, boom, getting out there trying to find the gold, right?
Okay.
So, I don't think California is I think it becomes a state maybe shortly thereafter. It might be a state at this point. I don't know. We could look it up, but it is not. That's not the point. The point is there's people moving west. Okay, cool. And at this point, a lot of people. So what else is going on in the mid 1800s, Daniel? And quiz you on your little U.S. history.
In the 1800s?
From like 1855, 56, and the late 1850s.
California is becoming a state?
Well, yeah, I guess that's part of it. It's kind of like one of the biggest thing that's ever happened in United States history.
The gold rush?
No. I'll give you a hint.
Okay, give me a hint.
It's the Civil War.
Hey, it's the Civil War. What is the Civil War?
That's the one. There's this weird phenomena. I've talked about this like with my wife and some other people too, of like, I think we talked about it a little bit too with like Seven Wonders, is the way that you have recollection of history is fairly discrete and pretty good for close dates. But there's something that happens like pre-1900s where it all kind of mushes together a little bit.
Right.
So that's me, is just like, if I told you this, we all know this Civil War was a thing that happened. It's a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
But to say like these were the very specific years that it happened is just like, oh yeah, it would have specific years. It's kind of this weird phenomena in my brain. It's just like, I don't know, whatever. It had a date to it, right? Okay. Civil War. As that's kind of bubbling up, everybody in California kind of has no idea, right? They have no idea what's going on.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's not the only thing. Like, that's just the big one. There are things going on. And then there's a bunch of people on the East Coast. There's a bunch of people on the West Coast. At this point, there might have been like almost 500,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good chunk of people.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically completely disconnected. There's this huge chunk of land in the middle that goes basically from like the Mississippi River, like St. Louis, Missouri is kind of like, it's called the Gateway to the West. That's why there's an arch.
Okay.
Did you know that? That's why the arch is there, because it's the gateway to the West.
Okay.
So that's like where the frontier basically starts.
I'm learning so much tonight.
I know. I'm dumping
my eyes are like just so wide.
American history. Don't take your mind off the ponies, Daniel.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, what was the topic? And then I was like, oh yeah, ponies.
Don't forget about the ponies. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of people out there that have no idea what's going on. And to get news to them takes forever. Mm-hmm. They're totally disconnected, right? So for the longest time, there's basically we'll kind of call it two ways to get news out West, to get letters, newspapers, whatever, to get information exchanged from East Coast to West Coast and back, right? Both ways. That's why they find gold in 1848. It took a year for that information to get to the East Coast in 1849 for people to then start heading west. So they find gold in 1848, but nobody finds out about it until 49.
Oh,
so there's a year delay. So
wow. Anyway, can you imagine that nowadays?
Taking a year and be like, what? We found gold. I had, a year ago.
Hey, McKyler, I had a child.
A year ago. Yeah, he turns 1 this weekend. You would do that to me.
Yeah.
Just to mess with me. So anyway, there's 2 ways really to get news out West. One is you can sail to get from coast to coast, which at this point in time, I see you're making crinkly faces out of confusion. You could sail and pull a Shackleton and go all the way around South America and back up, right? And we know how dangerous those waters are. You can do that, and how long that takes. It takes forever. So you could do that. Or you can sail to somewhere like Panama, or kind of by, like, the Yucatan Peninsula. There's kind of that isthmus there. Those are like the shortest 2 paths across land, to where you could sail, hike it, kayak it, whatever, go down overland for a little bit, get back in a boat, and then sail up to California. Okay. That's one way.
Yep.
Or 2, you put it on wagon trains and send it out west. And wagon trains, like the fastest wagon trains took like months sometimes. Like I think the average was like a month. Or that was kind of like, that might have been more like the minimum, because if any little thing went wrong in a wagon train, boom, you get like another month delay. You get 2 months delay. So it's still going to take forever to get that information to you. So they're like, how do we get information out west fast?
Yeah.
That was kind of the question. And so the 1850s are like, the Civil War is ticking on. It's actually, it gets towards its end, right? And so it ends, I believe, in 59. There's another presidential election in 1860. And that's kind of their goal. Like, we need to be able to get the results of that election out west as fast as we can.
Okay.
Right. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And like votes from the West, because I think they're a state at this point. So it's like, because they have senators and whatnot, right? So that's who they're trying to get in contact with.
Gotcha.
So the government is like, okay, how do we do this? We got to get the news out, right? We got to get the news. That's kind of their goal, is that presidential election, which turns out Lincoln won that one, right? He won his second presidency and then was shortly after assassinated.
Right.
That was kind of their goal. Get that news out in 1860. Boom. Get it out west. So the government was like, this is important for the nation. We're going to issue a government contract to do this work. If you guys have, so they basically did kind of like how they do government contracts now. They say, we want to do this thing. Come with your ideas as like a private company, and we will issue the contract to go execute that.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get these guys' names. So the three founders of this company, which I'm trying to find the actual company name. The company name sucks. Okay. So the government issues this contract to the company. It's called the Central Overland California and Pikes Peak Express Company.
What is that?
Which later became known as the Pony Express.
What's the first letter of each of those words?
It doesn't spell anything.
Nothing?
COCPPEC.
Yeah.
Nothing. Central Overland California and Pikes Peak Express Company, aka the Pony Express. Doesn't matter. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah.
No wonder they came up with a different name.
Right.
Like, that name's awful.
It's like, yeah, no, we're changing this.
Anyway, there's three founders. A guy named, these are the last names. Yeah, I'll read them because it's fun. William H. Russell, Alexander Majors, and William B. Waddle. Those are the three guys who are going to invest in this company. They're like, we got this idea. We know how to do it. So previously, like, the problem is it's vast distances. So we're talking almost 2,000 miles. They want to connect basically St. Louis to Sacramento. And that's 2,000 miles. Okay. That's a long way.
Yeah.
That's a long way. So here's an interesting fact. So they proposed this idea of using a horse relay system. They're not the first group of people to come up with this idea. In fact, they were using it in the United States already.
Yeah.
To bring news between New York City and Boston. They were already doing this.
Okay.
It's a lot shorter distance.
Yeah.
The Mongolians had done it in centuries past. And so they would cover vast distances the same way. This one is still longer. So I think this is like the longest horse relay that has ever been done. It's a long way. So this is what they set up. Let's talk nuts and bolts now, right? This is how it works. Right. So riders take off. They can go in either direction, right? They take off on a horse, and they're basically going to try to ride as fast as they can. The limiting factor here is the horse, right? You're not going to ride a horse for 2,000 miles without it getting tired, right?
I mean, isn't the whole thing like you can ride a horse till it dies, basically? But then,
pretty much, yeah.
Right, but you're not going to do that because then
exactly
you're at a horse, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you're not even going to get close. So what they do is they say, well, we're going to ride them hard for a short distance. And then the rider is going to switch out that horse for another horse and keep going and keep doing that. It's a horse relay, right?
Right.
It makes enough sense. And you're going to do that until basically your human runs out of steam. So on average, they would have stations to switch horses out. Horses went about 10 or 15 miles.
Yeah.
At pretty much a full gallop.
Mm-hmm.
They went about 10 or 15 miles. And then they got switched out for another horse. The riders went on average something like 100 to 150 miles in a day. So if you do some of the math, they're averaging like 10 miles an hour. And it would basically take like a whole working shift. So they would be riding horses for like 8-10 hours, right?
Yeah.
Then there's some crazy stories. We can get into it whenever it makes sense to, but there's some crazy stories of guys riding like 40 hours in a row or 30 hours in a row of just they going. Went. This is one of the things about this that really was what was so cool about it is that they went day or night, rain or shine, snow. They went, right? They were going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of weird to me to grasp onto it, but like they basically just had a bag full of letters, and the amount of like pride that they took in this and how seriously they took it. It's like if a storm rolled in, like a horrible, nasty blizzard, they didn't go, I'm going to wait till tomorrow. They're like, no, this is important. that we get this there as fast as we can and not a day later. Right. Which is pretty admirable.
No, for sure.
It's pretty wild. I'll get into a little bit of some of the stats later. They'll kind of bubble up, but one of the things is so, okay, 1900 miles. They went all these distances. There was somewhere, we don't know because we've lost a lot of just to time and history, a lot of these stations. They estimate anywhere between like 150 to 200 of these basically switch off points. So
yeah, like
they'd
pit
have
stops
horses,
and whatever.
all these little pit stops. Yeah. They had like between 150 and 200 of them that stretched all the way up, and they went through like Kansas into parts of Nebraska. There's actually still 2 in Colorado, which is really cool.
Really?
We could talk about those.
Ooh.
And then they went up kind of into Wyoming because the mountains are there's one little path kind of, if you go, I think it's I-80 goes along it right now. It's the same path because the mountains there aren't as rugged.
Okay.
And you can make it through quite a bit easier. And then they went through down through Utah and Nevada and into Sacramento, which is kind of more northerly for California's sake, because it's pretty tall.
Right.
So pretty northerly. That would take them on average. So like a letter from one side to the other. It wouldn't be the same writer. It'd be a bunch of different writers.
Right.
It would take on average 10 days to get, which is pretty quick.
Yeah,
it's pretty quick because before it was taking months.
Right.
So they got that time down to 10 days. The shortest time that it ever took was the 1860 presidential election results, which they got there in 7 days and 17 hours.
Oh, wow.
I think was something like that.
Yeah.
That was the fastest they did it.
Yeah.
So that was like the most important news that they got out west was Lincoln wins the presidency. You might ask, Daniel, how much did it cost to send a letter along the Pony Express? You might ask that. You might not. I'm going to assume that you do.
Well, now I'm asking because I was just, that's a lot of horses.
It's a lot of horses
to maintain.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of infrastructure. Truly.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of buildings, like the path is not like a path. I mean, it's nature. They're just galloping through, but all the buildings, blah, 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 all the food. Yeah. There's a lot of logistics in it.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll keep that in mind too. A letter in those days cost about like for half an ounce to an ounce letter, like a letter, like a stamp,
right,
would cost in their time when it started, it cost $5. When it ended, it was about $1. If you translate that to nowadays,
wait, it went down.
Yeah, they got more efficient, basically.
Okay.
So it was more expensive at the start. Higher startup costs, whatever, they figured it out. By the end of it, the cost was lower. And they might have been sending more letters too, which kind of helped bring the cost down.
I understand that.
I didn't really dig into why it changed, but it changed.
Yeah.
$5, if you convert it, I don't have today's value, but like today, broadly speaking, and today-ish value, is about $130 a letter. Or 150, call it 150, right? That's a lot for a letter.
Yeah.
Just a letter, just a piece of paper in an envelope. Like that's it. So this was not like normal people were not using this. This was for rich people. This was for politicians. This was for businesses, right? And newspapers, articles, like those types of things. Those were the people using the service.
Yeah.
So maybe that lends itself a little bit to like the importance of it is you're handling official political business maybe, or rich people stuff and whatever. And for some reason that's more important. In any case, that's a lot of money. Even at the end, $1, I think was like 30 some odd dollars today. That's still a lot.
I mean, even $5 today for a single letter.
Oh gosh.
Is a lot.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, I'll just send a text or whatever.
You can send people like a box of bricks for like $30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That may be a bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can mail people more than letters for $30 today. So it was expensive and it always was. So keep
keep that in mind. Let's talk about a couple of the people. Actually, I'm going to say this just for fun. Yeah, let's talk about the people, and we'll talk about some of the gear that they brought along with them too.
Okay.
So, here is the famous. I know how you like famous advertisements.
Ooh.
This was what was written on this job posting. If you remember Shackleton's, is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
This one is young, skinny, wiry fellows, not over 18, must be expert writers, willing to risk death daily, orphans preferred.
What?
That was the job posting.
What?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yes. So,
not over 18.
Not over 18.
Orphans preferred.
Yes. It wasn't in this listing either, but there was another, you had to be under 125 pounds. So that's kind of why like young people are going to weigh less, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
But, what would you guess? Let's play the guessing game. I always make you guess.
Yeah.
How old do you think the youngest writer was?
7.
No, but that's a pretty decent guess. He was 11.
Okay.
His name was Bronco Charlie Miller. How awesome is
His
that?
name was Bronco.
You know, I don't have it in quotes here, but it feels like it would have been like a nickname, but they call it, Bronco Charlie Miller. His 11-year-old
Oh my God.
riding all day, all night through the snow to deliver letters. So that was awesome.
You said Charlie River?
Miller.
Bronco
Charlie Miller. So what kind of equipment did they have with them, right? So they're on a horse. I think they had like a lightweight saddle. They had, and then they basically had 2 things. They were not allowed to carry food with them because it weighed too much. They would eat at the relay stations if they had time. They basically said, the way it was described was horse and rider would basically, they would eat what they need to not starve on basically the whole thing. Like the whole thing is so lean. They didn't carry any food with them, and when they did, it was just enough to keep them alive. Kind of like, this is hardcore.
For sure.
Like, oh my gosh. So this is kind of why like the legend is born out of this, is because these are like some hardcore dudes doing some crazy stuff just to deliver some letters. It's like the things stories are born out of, right?
Right.
So these stories go west, they come back, and this kind of conflates everything. And I'll get into that a little bit too.
Just a quick question. Are you going to say much more about Bronco Charlie Miller before I read? Is that going to ruin anything?
No, I don't. I have nothing other than he was 11.
Okay. Go for it.
Do you have any like quick hitting? I see you looked up.
I mean,
some
I just
factoids.
wanted to see if there was anything about him, and I haven't read anything because I didn't want to ruin anything just in case.
I got nothing to say yet.
They have a illustrated picture of him, which looks pretty cool. I'll spin this around so I can show you. That's
it's of him like writing.
Yeah,
I was thinking like a portrait.
No. Like this is, I'll show you. Right next to that is a picture of him, but when he's much older.
Okay.
He actually lived to be 105. It looks like.
Oh, that's right. That is this guy. I forget. Yes, there is a little bit more interesting things about Bronco Charlie Miller.
Charlie Miller.
That's the guy. He was the last surviving writer. He lived to be 105. He died in like 1950 something.
Yeah, 1955.
There you go.
Which is insane to think about, dude.
So
time is crazy.
This is the kind of, I don't know, the kind of people that, this is the kind of guy that he was, I guess. Maybe the other guys were kind of like this too. He tried to lie on basically like a military application in World War II so he could serve in the army. He was 90 some.
And he tried to.
Yes.
What was he trying to say? That he's in his 40s?
I don't know. But he tried to fight in World War II. He was like 90 years old. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He would have been in 55. He was 105. So yeah, he would have been at youngest 90 years old during the American involvement in World War II, right? 90, 91.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's Bronco Charlie Miller.
Bronco
So-
Charlie Miller, man.
All of these guys have the best names too. Let's talk about before we talk about some other things. I just want to say this: they only carried two things with them, Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
The bag to carry the letters, which they called a mochila,
Oh,
which
nice.
is so funny because nobody in my research ever said that is the name for a bag in Spanish, like a backpack, right?
Yeah.
Like they're like, it was this fancy thing called a mochila. And I'm like, clever. It's a real word. It's just in a different language. So I thought that would tickle you.
That is funny.
Just like
It's this fancy word from California. They call it a mochila.
yes, it's a backpack. Yeah. But anyway, I think it probably was like the design of it was optimized to be light, to fit well with a horse and rider.
Right.
And then to be able to like exchange it quickly. So when a rider was done, they didn't hand the horse off, right? They just handed the next guy the bag and then boom, he's gone.
Yep,
so
yep.
like you don't have to, they already have a guy on a horse ready to go. So when you're done, you just hand over the bag, boom, they're gone. So they carried the mochila, and a revolver. That was all they carried with them. They also had to, I almost started the episode with this, but they had to swear an oath to do three things: to not swear, to not drink, and to not fight other employees. Which I just thought was just like the weirdest, kind of strange.
You got to swear. You're not going to swear.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Then all of the research I did was like, they didn't follow this oath. I'm like, really? Really?
You're basically employing children.
You're employing children to go through very dangerous territories, not only from nature, but one thing we could talk about it is the Native Americans, like the relationship that the United States, the people, the military, and the Native Americans, like that was not going great in the mid 1800s. So we could talk about that too, but like, let's talk about that. There is, so this was extremely hostile, right? Not only is the weather going to kill you, like there are natives out there who, got pretty angry. And it was they call it like the War of Pyramid Lake or something like that. Basically some settlers, got into a scuffle, or like whatever. They fought with a native tribe. I can't remember. It might have been the Lakota, but I can't remember. Anyway, that set off like a whole bunch of tensions. So then the native tribes would go out and hunt the riders, and they would attack the stations, all these relay stations.
Yeah.
So one of the more dramatic encounters that they had was a writer named Billy Tate, which is a great name too. Billy Tate.
Yeah.
He was 14 years old when he got ambushed by a war band of Native Americans on horseback too, chasing him down with bow and arrows. He was killed in the encounter, but before he died, he was able to kill 7 of the natives.
Oh, dang.
Which is just a crazy encounter. 14-year-old, you give him a revolver and you say, go boy. And he's like, bam, bam. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy 14-year-old fighting for his life. Insane. But one of what I found kind of pretty interesting about this, and it's just hardcore history, right?
Right.
Is a lot of especially the more aggressive tribes who are really fighting for their land. They would scalp their enemies.
Yeah.
But if they respected their enemies, they wouldn't. And they did not scalp Billy Tate. So they respected him for how he fought back.
Oh, wow.
And I found that pretty interesting. So they're like, we got you, Billy, but good fight.
Which is insane, because I think you killing 7 of them, they'd be like, no, we're really gonna.
Yeah.
But
like,
they're just like, no.
Respect. They're like, mad respect.
Yep.
Which is just a a pretty interesting cultural ideation. I think it's really cool.
Yep.
That's just how they handle things.
Mhm.
Pretty wild. So that's what these guys were up against. And that was kind of the worst of it. I'm thinking it doesn't tie in quite yet. I don't know how much time I'll have to talk about it, but remember the two posts in Colorado.
Yes.
I'll come back to them at the end.
Okay.
If I don't,
Yeah.
if I don't, I promise I'll get back to them.
Okay.
Because it takes place a little bit later.
Okay.
And kind of I'll tie all this up, but it's going to happen like a decade later. Okay, cool, blah blah blah. What else did I miss? Oh, this is pretty neat. You got 11-year-olds, you got 14-year-olds, you got all these young boys out here working a job. How much are they getting paid?
I would almost bet nothing.
You were wrong. They got paid pretty handsomely.
Really?
They got paid $100 a month, which is roughly equivalent in today's money to like $3,000 to $4,000 a month.
Oh,
Not bad.
not bad.
Pretty good.
Especially for a youngin.
Oh yeah. An 11-year-old making $4,000 a month.
Could you imagine any 11-year-old at this day and age making that much?
No. It's like when they sign high schoolers to like multi-million-dollar sports contracts.
Right.
It's like, yeah. So
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because I almost think that it would be the opposite. They'd be like, you're just doing it for the pride. You're doing it.
Yeah.
Like we're feeding you. We're giving you clothes on your back. Well, you don't need much else.
Yeah. So maybe that's why they worked so hard, is because
Yeah.
they're like, this is pretty good money.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna slack off because
mhm.
I gotta keep this job because it's awesome.
Yeah.
And they probably liked it, right?
Mhm.
All you're doing are riding a horse fast through nature, like
Yeah.
by yourself, just out there.
I
Like,
mean,
that's
even
an appeal to
nowadays,
some
it seems pretty fun.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
just get on a horse and just go.
I'm not like a horse guy.
Mhm.
We did like some like mountain tours as like a kid,
Mhm.
and like one of them shook a fly off real bad, and I thought I was gonna fall, so that freaked me out. And that was like the last time I've been on a horse. So I don't know. I don't have like a relationship with horses, but like the idea of
Yeah.
being out in just like an untouched land
Mhm.
is pretty enchanting,
Yeah,
pretty wild,
for sure.
probably pretty awful some days.
Some days I'm sure it was.
So crazy. One of the crazy. Let me give you one stat. Because I found this crazy because they had like Billy Tate. There's another story. I can't remember the writer. He ended up dying from it, but he was riding hard in the middle of the night, and his horse tripped over an ox that was like sleeping in the road,
Oh, dang.
and the horse flipped all the way over and landed
Ooh.
on him, basically.
Yep.
All these crazy stories, right? There's only a couple of these. They only ever lost one mochila. Only one.
Throughout the whole operation?
Uh-huh.
What?
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So that's what's crazy to me, is just like, okay, you know, something crazy happens to Billy Tate. Someone eventually like, oh, Billy didn't show up at the next post. Like, you got to go find Billy. Like, I don't know. I missed a lot of that in my research of just like the recovery of some of these crazy events.
Right. They must have had it like you said, so efficiently that they knew this is basically the window that they should be here.
Yeah.
Anything outside this window,
Yep.
something's going on.
Yeah. And so I don't know how that recovery stuff went,
Right.
but there was crazy stories too. And I want to talk about a couple more people. Sometimes people would just not show up. So there would always be like I can't remember what they called him, like call him a station master.
Mm-hmm.
There would be somebody waiting to help do the horse exchange or the rider exchange or whatever like that, and like playing host. So there was always a guy camped out, right? And sometimes if a rider didn't show up, that guy it would be his job to hop on a horse and go. So either maybe that meant go back and find him,
Right.
or something, right? So they were kind of always on call, kind of, sort of, or maybe the rider that they're supposed to swap off with didn't show up. So they'd be like, hey dude, I know you just rode horse for 12 hours, but your counterpart didn't show up, for another $50, you can take the next shift.
Yeah.
And they would do that.
Yeah.
Right. So then that's where you end up with guys who rode like 30 hours, 40 hours in a row.
Yeah.
Because they're just working overtime.
Yeah.
Basically.
They're just
right.
like, let's go. Okay.
Yeah. They're like,
sure.
Yeah.
I get to go riding some more. Let's go.
So the guy who carried the record was, well, I should say this. The record is attributed sometimes to, you might recognize this guy's name, William Cody, aka Buffalo Bill Cody.
Yeah,
it's attributed to him. They said that he rode like 380 miles in like 40 hours or something like that and set the record. There's no actual evidence that Buffalo Bill Cody even participated in the Pony Express, although it's kind of speculated that maybe or maybe not he was a rider, but he's considered the most famous Pony Express rider, even though he wasn't part of it.
Wait.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, right?
What?
It's just like kind of like the weird 1800s-ness of this is just like there's so many things that are inflated in this. And like one of the things that Buffalo Bill Cody is famous for is he had like a roaming troupe that did like a show. So it was just like a circus basically.
Okay.
And that's where Annie Oakley comes in, right? Okay. She worked for Buffalo Bill. And so that's like their Wild West show that they actually toured the world doing shows. So that was part of it. And one of the actual writers of the Pony Express was part of that. And they would reenact parts of like some of this to like kind of explain the history and stuff like that. So there's a lot of weird things that kind of get inflated and become legend in this. And then there's not a whole lot of records. So it's a little bit soft on where myth versus reality comes in. So I'll throw in another myth is Buffalo Bill Cody is kind of a mythical real guy figure in all of this. Yeah. Is like, what did he actually do? He was a showman, certainly. But like, what else did he do? Yeah, it's kind of up for debate. There's a few things. He hunted buffalo for the trains. Okay. And he had the show. Those we know for certain. He might have been on the Pony Express. Okay. So usually when people are talking about Buffalo Bill Cody's record, they are actually talking about a guy named Pony Bob, which is his nickname. I can't remember. I can't remember his actual name, but it's Pony Bob. They called him. He carries the actual record. I have it written down here that he did 380 miles. They said Bill Cody's was something like 400 miles or something. It just barely edged him out. But they say that Pony Bob actually did it. And it was the case where he just kept showing up and the other riders weren't there. So he just kept going. Oh, and he's just like, yeah, he's like, let's go. And so he just kept going. So he went, 400 miles almost on a horse straight without stopping. Crazy. They said when he pulled into the last station that he was asleep on his saddle as his horse walked into the station, which may or may not be true, but it's a really fun visual. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Pony Bob, that was one of my favorite names in all of this. Robert, I don't know if it's Haslam or Haslam. Yeah, Haslam. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've got. Haslam. Yeah. Robert Pony Bob. I like Pony Bob a lot better. I do too. That's all. I just forgot all the rest of it. Let me see what else is interesting to talk about here. Let's talk about. So let's I'm going to tie up a little bit of. Let's see. So let's finish up the history of the Pony Express, and then I'm going to tell you about the two little stations in Colorado. This is like the craziest thing to me is that this is kind of I would say the Pony Express is legendary. Like I would say most people have know of it, or at least I've heard the term. Yeah. Right? So like we talked last week of, what do you know about Paul Bunyan? Yeah. Kind of the same thing as like, I know of, I don't know the stories, but whatever. I know he's like a mythological figure. Right. I'd probably kind of say the same thing as like hey, do you know about the Pony Express? They're like, yeah, it's something to do. It's the train or it's the mail thing. Or I don't know, but they rode horses or something like that. Right.
Right.
They kind of know of it. So it's kind of legendary. Daniel, it only operated from start to finish for 18 months.
That's still impressive because that's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for it to like permeate time.
Yeah. It's for 18 months.
Yeah.
It's like it's life to legend ratio is really high.
Yes.
It's crazy. So like, yeah, that shocked me. 18 months was it. They started in, the first ride was in April of 1860. And by October of 1861, they called it quits. And you might say, why?
Yeah.
Why? Tell me why.
Tell me why.
Thank you, Daniel. 2 reasons. One, it was wildly unprofitable. Maybe you could have figured. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, the prices for the mail, that's probably why they were so expensive, is to try to, we know it's logistically complicated. They ended up investing, this is in 1860s time money, $700,000, which is like, I think it was somewhere on the order of like $16 to $20 million. A lot.
Yeah.
That's how much that these 3 guys invested into it. They only made like $200,000. So they just lost a ton of money on this thing. It just was not profitable. So I find that really, really, really interesting. The other thing is that 10 weeks after the first ride of the Pony Express, 10 weeks, the plan to build a transcontinental, what's it called? Where you do the freaking Morse code.
Telegram.
Telegram. Thank you. Like, I can't find the word on my paper. The transcontinental telegram. They greenlit that project 10 weeks after the Pony Express was first ride. So they knew that like their time was limited, right? And so the telegram, funnily enough, right, it goes along basically the same exact path that the Pony Express riders would ride. So you can kind of picture this of like the riders riding out, and they're not maybe quite alone because there's guys building a telegram wire, and it's just like you're in the middle of nowhere with other people. You know what I mean? Like, you're all the way out in nowhere, and there's you riding the horse and a guy putting up a pole. Yeah. And you're the only two for hundreds of miles. Like, that's what's going through my head. But yeah, in October 24th, 1861, the telegraph is completed, and you can go New York to Sacramento or wherever you want to instantly, basically. Right. So that pretty much made the Pony Express obsolete. Makes sense. You didn't need it anymore. So all in all, they ended up making like 300 trips or something. Okay. And they only ever lost 1 bag, which I think is pretty crazy.
It's still crazy.
It's pretty cool.
Especially like you said, under 18, like, yeah, that's a lot of responsibility for those young kids. Yeah. So that's cool.
So let's talk about just the last little bit, because the Pony Express, honestly, it's kind of a simple little thing. Yeah. And there was aspects of it that really opened my eyes, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's some guys riding some horses as fast as they can. Simple concept. Yeah. Riding ponies. Let's talk about the 2 in Colorado, because that's where most of our listener base is. That's where we are. And I was like, oh, cool, I want to go visit them. Well, I've been past both of them without even knowing it.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
There is one in a little town called Virginia Dale. Bet you haven't heard of that one.
Nope.
It's kind of, if you're going from Fort Collins to Laramie, Wyoming, up like the back way through the mountains. There's just a little town there. There's basically, I think there's like nothing there except for maybe the Pony Express stop.
Like you're going towards Wyoming.
Yep. From Fort Collins-ish. It's a little town, Virginia Dale.
I've probably passed it too, because I've gone to climb up in Wyoming and.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you go straight to Laramie, you've been through it.
Okay.
But if you go like up to Cheyenne and then over, you would miss it.
Okay.
So there's a chance if you went through the mountains, you probably went through Virginia Dale.
Okay.
So that was a Pony Express stop. There you go. The other one, Daniel, is in a town. You might have heard of this one, Julesburg.
I don't. I feel like a bad Coloradan.
No, I don't know that a lot of people would. I do, because my personal history, I've driven past it a bunch of times to go visit family.
What, Julesburg?
Julesburg. It's in the northeastern corner of Colorado. It's kind of barely in Colorado. It's right next to Nebraska.
Oh, I'm trying to see. Huh. Oh, okay. Oh my, that is way up there.
It's way up there.
Oh, okay. But you've been here?
I've driven through it. I've never actually stopped at the stop.
This is it looks like a small town.
It's pretty decently sized.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 roads one way. And 10. It's a 10 by 12 roads grid.
Okay, so it's one of the bigger towns that you pass if you're.
Gotcha.
There's not much going on in northeastern Colorado. Other than Sterling, that's like the next biggest town, probably. There's not a lot going on. So, but anyway, there is a restored Pony Express station there, which I think is kind of neat.
They restored it in Julesburg?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
That's sweet.
So I just thought for like a quick second, while we're talking about it, and, we're alluding to how crazy the 1860s were. Julesburg was at one point considered like, what did they call it, like the wildest city in the West. It was reported in some papers as like one of the craziest, most gnarly, hardcore Western towns ever, which I would not put it up on the list. Like you're going to hear of like Deadwood, Tombstone.
Yes.
Like all the ones right from the movies. Yep. Julesburg would maybe rival them all.
Really?
Yeah. It's had some crazy stories. We've got time for a little bit of them. I'm trying to find my notes on them.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to get some stuff wrong, because we're going to do some vibes only history.
Let's go.
I'm going to get you close, but remember to go do your own research. I think I might have found it. Oh, I found it. Okay. But there's a lot here, so I'm still going to miss it. Okay. Julesburg was named after Jules Benny is the guy. He's like the hot shot of the area, I guess. He's like the first mayor, I guess. What would you say of kind of this area that they're settling? It's a Western area, right? You settle it because it's livable there compared to the other places. So it's very rough beginnings, and kind of that's why everything is rough and tumble, lawless, right? So he forms kind of this town. He at one point ambushed a guy named Jack Slade, which is the most villain name I think I've ever heard. So it's Jules Benny Jack Slade feud is what it's called. Anyway, Jules Benny tried to ambush Slade with a shotgun, only for Slade to survive. And then he came back like a year later and killed Jules Benny. And
oh no.
Yeah. So just like this crazy feud stuff on whatever. So that's why it's called Julesburg, right? Jules Benny is the guy that it's named after.
Okay.
So really, really hardcore history about how the town was founded. It's called the wickedest city on the plains. So this had everything, right? People stealing horses, mail being misrouted is written on this. They had gambling halls, they had brothels. I mean, you name it. This was crazy Wild West. Yeah. No, like very little lawless kind of. What you thinking of when you're thinking like crazy lawless? So that's basically this town. and that's one of the stops for the Pony Express.
Let's just let a young boy into this town.
I know. That's why I'm like, oh, this whole thing is crazy. That's what these kids did. So, yeah, there you go. So that was 1860, 1861. That's right about the same time this feud is going on, actually, is right in the same exact time period. So you know that it was nonsense when they're stopping through. Right. 100% nonsense. Anyway, a couple of years later, 1865 is the year. So this is where like things really start heating up for like westward expansion and stuff like that. You may recall the Sand Creek Massacre, or you've heard of it. If you haven't, it's definitely a piece of Colorado history and U.S. history that I think you should read up on. Like as a Coloradan, I think it's important to kind of know about.
What is it called?
Sand Creek Massacre.
Okay.
It's just basically a pretty awful story of the U.S. military just completely wiping out a Native American tribe. I'm trying to read on which tribe it was. I don't have it here in front of me. I think it was the Lakota. Could have been Cheyenne, Arapaho, or Lakota. I just told you to read about it, and I've oversaturated my brain with information. It was peaceful Cheyenne and Arapaho Indians, and they basically they set up camp because they thought they were supposed to by orders of the governor. Like they were flying a truce flag and an American flag, and they're just sitting there. And then basically over the course of 8 hours, the U.S. military came in and killed all of them, including like all the women and children.
Oh man.
It was like 150 people that they killed every single one of them. So in 1865, there was a retaliation in Julesburg where there's a combined war band of Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho that came in, about 1,000 of them, that just decimated the town. Basically, they killed as many people as they could. They burnt the town to the ground.
Oh,
so they wiped out the whole thing in retaliation. So then Julesburg was actually rebuilt when the railroad came through a little bit later. And so the original spot for Julesburg and the current spot for Julesburg is in a different spot by a little bit because of where they ended up building the railroad.
Really?
So they just rebuilt the town, but they rebuilt it over here.
That just reminds me of the SpongeBob bit. Why don't we take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else?
So they pushed it to the railroad. So a fun little tidbit of history, and not history, pop culture. Have you ever seen the movie Dances with Wolves?
Oh, it's been a while, but yes.
That is roughly, really, really roughly kind of centered around that whole exchange.
Okay.
Very loosely, right? Because it doesn't mention the Sand Creek Massacre.
Right.
It doesn't mention Julesburg. The guy in it, whatever the actor's name is.
Yeah.
He's stationed in Fort Sedgwick, which is it's right there in that area. So like the whole thing is somewhat during the exact same time period. So like 1860 to 1865. So the whole thing is somewhat plausible, but the whole story is completely made up. I just thought it was pretty interesting that like they kind of dance around this little bit of actual really interesting history.
Yeah.
And write a really cool story too. But yeah, anyway, it's very, very, very closely tied to that little bit of history.
Yeah, yeah.
I find that pretty interesting. I think the last thing I'll say too is I know I'm going to say this at the risk of stirring up some mud, because I know people don't. Some folks will take exception to renaming stuff. And I'm not here to talk about whether we should or should not rename stuff. I mean, I don't even have a say in that anyway. But that whole story, that is the reason why Colorado renamed Mount Evans to Mount Blue Sky. That's why. So whether it should or should not have happened, this, that, or the other, that's why. Is because Evans was the governor at the time of the Sand Creek Massacre. So it's basically kind of put on his shoulders. because he said a lot of things that that the law enforcement took as go ahead and kill whatever native tribe you want, because he was super ambiguous and didn't he refused to clarify himself.
Yeah.
And so basically he had to step down his role of governor. Like he was removed from his position. So he was disgraced in his own lifetime.
No.
Yeah. And then so anyway, that's if anybody needed a reason, they've been trying to rename it for decades, and then it finally happened. And that is why. I think a lot of people like for me personally, it was like, wait a second, they renamed it. Like I looked at it on Google Maps and it's just like, wait, where did Mount Evans go? Or like they changed the road sign or something. And I was like,
yeah.
That's random. Well, it wasn't random. They've been trying to do it for years, and that's why.
Yeah.
So now you know why it's called Mount Blue Sky now.
Yeah.
Which is its official name now.
It is. It's sometimes hard to be like, because, you're so used to like.
So used to it. I don't even know who Evans was.
Yeah. Me neither. I was like, that's the name of the mountain, that's part of like the 14 peaks that you do or, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's why. So a little bit of a mystery solved there.
Yeah.
One thing that I did not appreciate growing up was Colorado history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always skipped over it. It's really boring.
Yeah, I feel like now I need to go learn more because I'm like, oh man, there's a lot. I mean, obviously there's a lot, right?
Yeah.
But even with this, like to have 2 posts here.
Yeah,
like,
that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to be like, oh, like maybe there's nothing in that little town to see except for this small little piece of history that's just still standing.
Part of the actual Pony Express, you can go walk on it too. Like there's still trails, sections of it. So I think it's super cool. And I mean, as a 4th grader, I probably still wouldn't think, hey, maybe you even told us that. Right. Hey, there's a Pony Express station in Julesburg. And I'm like, big whoop.
Yeah, right.
But now as an adult, I'm like, hey, it's fine. History is cool. History is cool, everybody.
And I'm pretty sure they have maps of the whole trail, right? Of the whole Pony Express trail, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
And I would not put it past some of these hikers to be like, I want to hike
the whole thing,
the whole Pony Express trail,
1,900 miles of it.
Yeah, because there's crazy hikers. They do the PCT and the
do the Pony Express,
dude. That'd be pretty sweet to do.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like going out there just camping. Like I'm sure you can backpack and do it all.
Logistically complicated.
Yeah,
but definitely other people do crazier things.
Exactly.
Than that. So, I think we'll tease this in case it ever comes up. I saw that there's some guy that started like 25 years ago walking across he's crossing the entire world.
I saw
that one too.
I saw that. Yeah.
If you bring it up as a topic, I'd love to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty cool. But he's about to finish.
Yeah.
Which it's pretty crazy.
I saw that.
So pretty wild.
I've also been seeing these some kids walking across the country, and I don't know how up to date like their feed is, right?
Yeah.
Last I saw, they're like 2 days into Colorado.
Oh,
so they're like
that's fun.
Pretty.
Yeah, I remember like as a kid too. There's some other people that would just walk across the country, and they'd be like, "Oh, he's coming through town," and people would like go look and watch and stuff like that. That's kind of neat. So I picture you. I could see you doing at least parts of the Pony Express.
Like, so, I'll do the section that crosses Colorado.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom, done.
Honestly, Julesburg to Virginia Dale it's not a short distance.
No,
it'd be a pretty solid one.
Yeah, I saw the in the map. I'm like, that's not that bad.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's a good chunk. Yeah, it's a good. I'd probably put it at like the order of 100 miles or maybe better.
Yeah.
So that would be a good one. So
a good 5 days or so.
If I ruined a future topic for you, it was your own fault because you brought up walking the Pony Express. I saw the look in your eye of just like a little bit of disappointment.
No.
Maybe a little. Well, I guess that's it, man. That's the Pony Express.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
It was a topic that kind of surprised me. I was going like way over here, and then it kind of just popped up, and I'm like, all right, let's do Pony Express. Yeah. Let's do it. So I've got a whole bunch of other little things that I've got cooking up that we'll get to eventually. But
next time we'll talk about the bus thing.
Is that like supposed to be like a play on the Pony Express?
I have no idea.
Oh man, I hope not. That's terrible. I not once thought of that. Now every time I see it, I'm just gonna shake my head. I should go do my own research and figure out why they call it the Mustang. I guess it could be because of the weird blue horse at DIA.
Lucifer?
There's just like this weird relationship with Colorado and horses.
They are, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it's that. I don't know. Anyway, some speculation. Do you want to plug anything, Daniel? I guess I've got some ideas.
Go.
I just want to say the map. Which is coming up a lot lately. If you want access to the cool map, I love maps. I just like scrolling around maps. Sometimes that's how I get ideas to do stuff. Is I just zoom in on somewhere and be like, "What's going on there?"
Yeah, what's there?
And then there's always something going on, right?
Yep.
So we've got a map of all the places that we visited. I'm gonna put the Pony Express route on there. I'll try to put in like the actual route.
Yep.
As like a you could take directions and walk it or drive it or I don't know. It'll be kind of wonky. But anyway, there's a map. You can go visit all the cool places, but you'll only get that if you sign up for Patreon, which if you sign up for any of the tiers, you'll get that. But if you sign up for the cool extra content tier, you'll get bonus episodes, which include just weird shorts that we do of just kind of the same idea, but shorter, and follow-ups.
Yeah. Follow-ups
which
are fun.
should be fun. We're recording some follow-ups now too. So you only get those if you go on to Patreon. So that is patreon.com/doing learning. What else, Daniel?
Just follow us on all our socials. I mean,
yep.
Instagram's the biggest one.
That's the one.
Yeah. I think I mean it's short and simple.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram.
And just don't forget to just, like or follow us here or wherever you listen. It helps a bunch. It really does.
Yeah. Whatever podcast host platform thing, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever the heck they're called nowadays. Amazon. Yeah. Just follow it. That the numbers help.
Yes.
It's cool. I don't know. I don't fully get it, but it seems to help, I guess. That's what we're going to tell ourselves.
There we go.
And that's what we'll tell you. So yeah, follow us and come hang out again next week. And just remember, I think I got fairly close on this one. Not too bad. But definitely remember, go do your own research and stay curious.
I think that's it.
Did I say all the whole thing?
I think so.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
You gave me that look.
Oh, no.
Hey, everybody. We just like to take a moment to thank everybody out there that has thus far supported us. We do all these recordings, and we love doing it. We have fun doing it, but we are paying out of our own pocket. But it does help when people like Liz D, Seth T, Irvin H, DaDog, Mouse T, and Kirk K help us make this little podcast a reality and, lighten the load a little bit. So thank you from both of us and all of the fans. Thank you for helping us make this a reality. And if you guys want to help be part of the Doing Learning crew, you can do so by going to www.patreon.com/doing learning. I don't know why I said www.